Book review for The Maid's Secret, the third installment in Nita Prose's cozy mystery series featuring Molly Gray, the meticulous maid of the Regency Grand Hotel. The review highlights the novel's charming return to the series' signature blend of mystery, humor, and heartwarming moments. It delves into the novel's structure, exploring how Prose masterfully weaves together two timelines, present-day Molly and her grandmother Flora's past, through diary entries, creating a rich tapestry of family legacy, lost love, and the impact of the past on the present. The review also emphasizes the novel's engaging cast of characters, including the ever-evolving Molly, her fiancé Juan Manuel, the hotel manager Mr. Snow, and new characters like the charismatic TV hosts Brown and Beagle. The mystery surrounding the theft of a Fabergé egg is cleverly constructed, with twists that keep the reader guessing, while the personal stories of the characters add emotional weight to the investigation. The review concludes by praising Prose's balanced blend of humor and heart, her vivid descriptions, and the novel's powerful themes of family, authenticity, and the enduring impact of the past. Ultimately, the review positions The Maid's Secret as a satisfying addition to the series, a charming and emotionally resonant read that will leave readers eager for Molly's next adventure.
All right, deep divers, are you ready for another deep dive?
Oh yeah, all set here.
This time we're going back to the cozy mystery genre with The Maid's Secret, the latest from Nita Prose.
Sounds intriguing. What's caught your eye this time around?
Well, a review from the bookish shelf really piqued my interest, talking about this blend of charming hotels, hidden treasures, and even a little bit of theft.
Say no more. I'm sold. Especially love the mention of theft, always a good hook in a mystery.
Right. And speaking of hooks, the reviewer mentioned a dual timeline in this one.
Oh, no, that's interesting. I always find those dual timelines so captivating. Unpacking how those past events kind of bleed into the present, it adds such a cool layer to a mystery, you know?
I totally agree. And this isn't our first dance with Molly Gray either. This is actually the third book in this series. So for those who haven't had the pleasure yet, expert speaker, can you give us the rundown on Molly and her world?
Of course. So in The Maid's Secret, our beloved Molly has moved on up in the world, or at least in the hotel.
Oh, how so?
She's now the head maid and special events manager at the luxurious Regency Grand Hotel. But the charm of the series really lies in how, even with the promotions and new responsibilities, Molly stays true to herself.
Yeah, I love that about her character. She's got that unique way of looking at the world, almost too literal sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure leads to some pretty interesting situations, especially with a reality TV show filming at the hotel, it sounds like.
Oh, absolutely. The reviewer picked up on that too, mentioning how Prose just perfectly balances those lighter moments that come from Molly's perspective with those genuine, heartfelt connections she has with the other characters. It's really that warmth and wit that makes Prose's books such a joy to read.
Couldn't agree more. But now we need to talk about this second timeline that centers around Molly's grandmother, Flora. Family secrets were mentioned, and color me intrigued. Can you share any details without spoiling too much?
Well, the review did mention something about a priceless Fabergé egg, a real relic from Flora's past that somehow finds its way into Molly's present. And this isn't just some random family heirloom. This egg symbolizes family legacy, lost love, and just how much the past can impact the present.
Okay, you had me a priceless Fabergé egg. It's like the universe is just dropping a clue right in Molly's lap.
It's like something out of one of those mystery movies, right?
Totally. But you know me, I can't help but picture Molly already meticulously dusting this egg. Maybe even finding like a hidden message or secret compartment or something.
Well, 100%. Knowing Molly, she's probably already polished it to a blinding shine.
Right. But you've touched on something really interesting here. It's like this egg is more than just some random object. It's almost like a character itself, you know, symbolizing all those hidden stories that families have.
It really does. And, speaking of hidden stories, the theft of this egg is really at the heart of this whole mystery. Any clues from the review on how this heist goes down?
You know, they kept that part pretty tightly under wraps.
Well, they wouldn't want to spoil all the fun, right?
Exactly. But they did emphasize that this isn't just some straightforward whodunit. While Molly's trying to solve the mystery of this stolen egg, she's also digging deeper into her family's past.
Oh, I love that. It's like uncovering those Russian nesting dolls, each layer revealing something new.
Yes. A perfect analogy. And speaking of familiar faces, it looks like some of our favorites are back to add their own layers to this story.
Right. You know, we can't forget about Juan Manuel, Molly's supportive fiancé. He always brings such warmth to her world.
And we definitely can't forget about the ever-so-proper Mr. Snow, the hotel manager. I bet he nearly faints when he hears about this missing egg.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine that staff meeting, the look on his face?
I'd pay to see that.
Me too. But in all seriousness, it's amidst all the chaos that these familiar characters bring a sense of grounding. And of course, no Molly Gray mystery would be complete without her best friend, Angela. Always there for the comedic relief.
You're telling me. Angela's wit is legendary at this point. But it sounds like things are going to be even more interesting than usual with the addition of some new characters, those reality TV hosts, Brown and Beagle.
Yeah, the reviewer definitely hinted that those two know how to stir up some trouble. Their presence at the Regency Grand during all this, it's going to be pure chaos.
It really does sound like a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yeah, but the best kind of disaster, am I right? And knowing Prose and her skill at balancing humor with those genuine moments of heart, this is going to be one entertaining read.
Reality TV stars and a priceless heirloom gone missing. Prose is definitely delivering the drama this time. But, something that stood out to me from the review was how the reviewer talked about Prose's writing. It was like they were transported right into the Regency Grand.
It's true. They were raving about how immersive it all felt. And it's not just about being in this grand setting. It's those little details she adds that really make it come to life.
Exactly.
The clinking of teacups, the smell of fresh pastries, the small touches.
It's like you can practically hear Mr. Snow's shoes clicking down the hall. It makes you wonder if Prose ever worked in a hotel.
Right. Maybe there's a story there. But beyond the captivating setting and the mystery, I think what makes the series so special are the themes that Prose explores.
Absolutely. We talked about family secrets and legacies, of course, but the review also touched on the importance of staying true to yourself, especially with everything Molly's been through and this new level of fame she has.
Oh, for sure. And it really speaks to Prose's ability to create these characters that you just connect with, because even as Molly's world is changing, she's still just Molly.
Exactly.
In a place like the Regency Grand, with everyone putting on airs, her authenticity is just so refreshing, like a breath of fresh air.
It's like she's saying, this is me, take it or leave it.
Yes. And what's amazing is that it works for her. But amidst all the fun and heartwarming moments, there's also a bit of a heavier theme that the review touched on: the lasting impact of the past.
Well, absolutely. And this is where I think that dual timeline really shines. By connecting Flora's story with what's going on in Molly's life, Prose really gets you thinking about how the choices of previous generations can affect us today.
100%. It's like looking at those family trees, but instead of just names and dates, you catch glimpses of those hopes and dreams, and even regrets that have been passed down through time.
It really makes you wonder about the stories that are hidden in your own family history, doesn't it? Makes me want to dig a little deeper into my own family's past. But before we get too sidetracked, tell me, for those who are eager to jump into The Maid's Secret, does this feel like a book you could enjoy even if you haven't read the first two in the series?
You know what? The reviewer made a good point about that. They said that while it definitely adds another layer to the story, if you've been following Molly's journey, Prose does a great job of making this book accessible even for new readers.
That's fantastic. I was a little worried that jumping into the third book might be a bit overwhelming for some, but it sounds like Prose struck that perfect balance again.
She really did. In fact, the reviewer actually called this book a culmination of everything from the first two, keeping that same heart and humor while adding even more depth.
Sounds like Nita Prose has another hit on her hands. The cozy mystery that promises to both entertain and maybe even make us think a little bit about the hidden treasures in our own lives. Until next time, deep divers.